Hi everyone. So we're back here 2 weeks later with these nails, and we did them 2 weeks ago, and I did accents, Lexio, koi, one coat of koi. So the koi color is white. It's sheer white. So that's all we did, and for the most part they lasted quite well, except for this one. What happened with this one?
I had an accident.
Yeah, I know, but what happened? You hit it hard, right? Or something?
No, actually I was prying something open.
Oh, okay.
And that's how that kind of happened.
Okay, so the rest looks good. Very good. There's tiny bit of pocket lifting over here, but they're like very, very small. Like micro pockets. Can I see? Yeah. So maybe with this video I am going to talk a little bit about the soak-off process as well. So let's start. Normally when the client comes in, I pop the heating pad into the microwave. So as I'm removing the shine, the microwave is, the heating pad is microwaving. So this is very, very thin. You see how I went through already? It files weird, like the top coat files a little rubber, quite rubbery. So, you know, when people ask me why I don't file everything off, why I don't file the color, leaving the base coat underneath, and I kind of very quickly mentioned that on my last video, but I think it would be quite impossible to kind of file off the color all the way down to the base, but not filing the base, and do it evenly, because you can see I'm actually like already at the natural nail here. So I think when people file off the color, they apply the base much thicker, so there is almost like a little bit more room to kind of file into without filing through it. Does that make sense? I'm asking you. Do that make sense? Someone's not paying attention.
Sorry, I'm mesmerized by watching you work.
Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of filing through here very, very lightly, so I'm not gonna keep filing. I'll try. I don't have other bits here. They're in a wash. But normally, so what I do with clients is I remove the shine from one hand. I rub the nails, and then I do the other hand, because this way this hand has a chance to soak a little bit longer. Now, maybe I'll talk a little bit about the removal process. So there are a few important things that you have to remember. When you saturate this piece, it has to be saturated it has to be quite wet. It's almost kind of dripping. And also when you're folding over, to make sure that you're almost like holding onto this, so when you wrap, everything stays in place, and kind of make it tight. Like, I do it quite quickly when I'm working, so it's maybe a little bit difficult to see, but as you can see, it's tightly wrapped. And because I've seen sometimes when people work, they have like this big, huge cotton piece, and it's not saturated very well, so then the remover, it's not sitting against that nail. So usually 2 pumps are enough, depending on what kind of pump you're using. But also the remover makes a difference. Someone had asked me what kind of remover I use, and I usually, when I'm kind of testing a brand, I use their remover, and I usually, to be honest with you, I don't see a huge difference. There are a few removers that I've used and I kind of don't use them anymore because they're very oily, and that's one of the, for example, you know, I'm gonna put a heating pad. Just give me 1 second. Okay, put your head down. Head down. Okay, towel over. Yeah, because they're so the one that I use is the OPI Expert Touch. I find that one to be the most effective. I don't like using straight acetone. I just find, I don't know if it's harsh or it just leaves the nails very white. And you know, that's actually a good idea. Let's test the acetone on this hand and see. Yeah, let's do that. So let's test acetone and see if it makes a difference, so you can guys compare. But yeah, I find that the Expert Touch does usually a better job removing the product. I've also used, and I still use for the Biosculpture remover. It's super expensive and it's oily as well. So what the oil does, it doesn't really protect the nail because the acetone just dissolves the oil anyway, but it just kind of hides some of the damage because it kind of makes the nails a little greasy, so it hides in. Yeah, so this is kind of difficult to like evenly remove, I find. Some gels are easier to file than others. This seems not to be very easy. I'm gonna just grab acetone and let's compare. Another thing that really helps is the, also I think maybe the acetone, because it's a pure acetone, evaporates very fast, so you have to be careful that it doesn't evaporate before you actually remove the product. Maybe the other ones, they kind of sit on the nail a little bit longer and better, so you have better results with that. I actually started timing the other hand when I finished wrapping it, so we'll do the same thing with this hand to compare the timing. And also I find that I apply the color so thinly, as thin as I can, because sometimes you can get wrinkles, that also it's hard to file through the top coat, through the color, to the base coat, but leaving the base coat. So let me turn the fan off and let's put both hands under. Okay, can you sit a little bit more straight? Oh, and that's another thing that I wanted to kind of mention, is that make sure the client is always sitting nice and even, because
I tend to sit a little off
sideways.
kilter just due to my work, but
Yeah,
also because I'm constantly paranoid that my hands aren't going to be in the
in the viewer.
in view, so that's why I kind of shift that way towards the camera.
But when clients do that, we kind of tend to suffer because of that, because we try to kind of compensate and you know, you kind of have to be a little bit confident that way and just ask the client, you know, could you sit a little bit more straight, because sometimes it's actually hard to see, and when their hand is on an angle, it's hard to get underneath the one side. So I guess we're gonna wait, and I'm going to give everybody a bit of a break, and we will be back in about 5 minutes or so. So it's been already 4 minutes here soaking, so I'm gonna wait till 10 minutes and then we'll see. Okay, so I'll see you in 5 minutes. All right, back almost 10 minutes later, and let's leave this one here and let's try this hand and use that. Lift your hand. All right, let's see. That's coming off really. It's kind of, I find that the accents, Luxio, comes off. It doesn't come off in huge chunks. It just comes off in little pieces. I guess maybe this is not the best test to test the difference between the two products, because we've used so little of the gel polish that anything is going to come off really well, because it was very, very thin coating. And the lovely white spots. Yeah, nobody's really sure why they're happening on the nail. And I don't think it's from scraping. And they're very superficial actually, so maybe when people are filing things off, they kind of file into those little areas, and we file them off. I think that's what happens. All right. Usually well, sometimes the thumbs take a little bit longer because they're not under the heat. Another good thing about the heating pad that I use, and I kind of almost use the heating pad all year round now, even in the summer, unless someone is, I don't know, super hot, and it's super, super hot outside and people's hands are usually warmer. But I do that for a few reasons. The heat helps with the removal process, but also it keeps people's hands not moving, because when people move their fingers, they loosen up the foil, and the acetone or the remover evaporates. So, okay, let's compare the other removal, the other hand, sorry. Okay. See, so this hand compared to this one, the skin is much drier looking. It's a very temporary effect, because once the hands are washed, it's back to normal. Can you move this hand away? Okay. It looks like it removes almost the same, to be honest with you, but there's more white spots here. It's interesting, because remember how I was saying there was little air pockets here on this nail? Mm-hmm. Those air pockets are the white spots. So again, it's not me scraping it now, they were there underneath. There were already like a little micro pockets. So it looked as if the polish kind of popped off from the nail, but it's almost like the nail popped off from itself, leaving like a little pocket. Mm. So that's interesting. So I think they're just like a little, yeah, so you can see. I mean, don't forget, we filed off the hard gel here. So in that area, the gel bonded much better, I guess. So it's almost like it bonds too well sometimes to a nail that's very porous. But we will see if this will grow out now. So I'm going to do a manicure now, and after that, I think we're gonna just do the manicure today. Let's just leave it. Actually, yeah, and we'll see. We'll take in a few days a picture of these nails and see if the white spots are gone. Yeah. Okay. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, because that looks pretty.
Yeah. So you see how.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see that underneath the product.
Mm-hmm. There were little pockets there already. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like the acetone just generally it does not look as pretty upon the removal. So if we're just gonna do a manicure, if you guys want to stay, to watch the manicure, then you are more than welcome. If not, we will see you in 2 weeks, and we'll see how the nails look after 2 weeks, and I'll think about something to compare these both hands. So I'll give you the details later after in the description box, okay? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in 2 weeks. And people that are watching, thank you for watching. We'll do a manicure. So here I'm just gonna shorten the nails with sanding band, and I'm using the, I always check if it's vibrating too much. And let's just move this a little bit, and we're gonna
get rid of my claws.
Oh, that's what I did. Okay, hold on. This is weird. Okay, here we go. Something was disconnected. The claws. The other hand. Move this one away, please. I know what we should do. Oh my god. We should do IBX on one hand and no IBX on the other. This is brilliant. Yes. Okay, guys. This is what we're going to do. And we're gonna see how the nails look after the treatment. Okay, so we're gonna do the IBX on one of the hands, but I don't know which one yet. Okay, this hand please. So how do we compare? And I always ask the client to hold the wrist. I don't know, everybody has their own way of kind of asking the clients or be comfortable, but I personally like when people's wrist is a little bit higher, so it's not like this, because this is heavier. So I asked them for the wrist to be higher and then the fingers to be kind of loose. So what should I do with the IBX? I think I'm gonna do this hand, or not. Because now the damage, the surface damage on both hands is the same, right? It's just this one is more visible because we had a straight acetone here. And in this hand, on this hand, let me just move this a little bit. On this hand, sometimes the removers, they contain either oils or moisturizing ingredients that kind of fill in those little holes, the little damages, and they kind of cover them a little bit. So I think that's my theory. So we're gonna make them quite short. Okay, we're gonna change something here.
Yeah, that thing just not open. Oh, that's better.
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna actually finish them. I'm gonna do the IBX on. Oh no, let me do this.
We can always just flip
Change of plans. No, because I want to see what really gives you the best comparison. Using the IBX on the more damaged hand or less damaged? Well, they're the same kind of level damage. But I guess this could be argued, so, and I don't want an argument here. Don't cross your arms, please, because it makes this hand heavier. Thank you. So this is exciting. This is something different. I have a video with IBX treatments that's super, super old. And people watch it quite a bit, but it's I don't have anything explained on it. So this will be better because you can hear me, what I'm doing. And I'm explaining everything as I'm going. Okay, I'm just trying to be a little bit... Can you just lean a little bit more this way, please? Yeah. Normally I would have the client's hand here, but no, actually it's still visible. It's sometimes tough to be in visible properly. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, good one. So what I'm doing now, and as you kind of, if you watch my videos, you know that I push back the skin very quickly because I'm not trying to actually, there's two pieces of skin here. So here, that's the proximal nail fold, this part, and it's a living skin. And here underneath, now you can see this is cuticle. And I don't push back the cuticle really, I kind of expose the cuticle because then later on I'm gonna go with the fine prepper bits, and I'm going to remove the cuticle from the nail plate. So here I'm just, there's a lot of areas that are a little calloused. So I'm just smoothing them out. I'm not really filing excessively to remove every piece of dry skin because you can't really fix dryness by filing it. So you can just, I guess, exfoliate it a little bit so it doesn't catch on things, but people still need to use their oils and treatments and take care of their hands in order to prevent the dry skin from happening. And humidifiers. I actually had a client just the other day. She was saying that her nails were actually where her skin was much better because she installed a humidifier in her house because it was very, very dry. So sometimes, you know, there's only so much we can do. Clients see us once every 2 weeks, but also what they do on an everyday basis is what really makes a difference. And I kind of compare it to, you know, you can go to the gym, you can even have a personal trainer, you know, even twice a week or whatever, but it's what you do every single day is what makes the biggest impact. So it's what clients are doing on an everyday basis is what really makes a difference. I actually had a client the other day too, for a pedicure, that normally she has very, very dry skin. A little bit callous, but mostly dry skin. And it's incredible the difference in her skin. And you know what the difference, how that happened, is because she actually started using creams. And that made incredible difference. So sometimes what we're trying to do is we're trying to fix it for the client once a month, but we can't really fix it, because unless, I mean, I've been doing her pedicures forever and she never really used anything, any creams, so we never really made a huge progress until she actually started using the creams herself. It's like going for a facial too. I think I spoke about it before too, and hoping that, you know, the esthetician can fix someone's dry skin. Well, they can't. They can only do so much in that one treatment, but it's how the client maintains their skin every single day is what makes the biggest impact. So you can see, like, I think I'm gonna post pictures of Ron's nails before we started doing these manicures. I'm gonna post them on my Patreon account, so because there was a kind of an ability to add to the post, so guys, please sign up. I'll leave the link in the description box to my paid channel, and I'm going to post pictures of his nails before we started doing these manicures. And you know, the changes actually happened kind of quickly. Are you using oil ever?
No.
Not really. Eh?
No.
So I guess the manicures to a degree. So yeah, like the skin was always kind of like overgrown, I guess due to biting too, probably, right? Biting your nails, yeah. It was overgrown and not very pretty looking, and now it's like...
Are you saying I had ugly hands?
No, I'm not saying that. And the skin now, it's just, I don't know, positioned nicer, and it's not as stuck to the nail plate as it was. So I really don't see the need for like fixing people's, you know, kind of nails in one appointment, because it's not really necessary. After a few manicures, and especially if the clients are using oil, let me just, they see improvement. So yeah. So we're gonna do the IBX on the other hand, and then we're gonna make sure that Ron uses oil on both hands actually, and we'll see what makes the biggest impact. Okay, so the manicure part is done, and you know what, as you can see, actually it has taken me 30 minutes, and that's normally if a client books a removal and a manicure, I book 30 minutes. Okay, we're back here. So Ron had to use a washroom, so he had to wash his hands. That's why the nails look different. Okay, so for the sake of comparison, I'm gonna wipe both hands with acetone and see how they look. This is great to be able to kind of test different things without having to do that on clients. Can you not cross your arms, please? Thank you. Yeah, so these, interestingly enough, this hand has more white spots. But funny enough how it doesn't have on this one, but usually these two nails are much more affected. Can I have this hand? Okay, so we're gonna do IBX on this hand, and I'm gonna explain how it works. So there's two products to IBX, the repair and the IBX that doesn't have a name. I suggest the name for this, like a sealant. I don't know if it is a sealant or not, but it kind of makes more sense when you're explaining it to clients, because this one, it penetrates the nail plate a little bit more, it's thinner, and then you cure it into the nail. And this one I kind of explain to people that it kind of seals the surface. They probably both seal the surface, but okay, you have to shake it, not shape it, shake it. And you want to apply, it doesn't have to be applied perfectly like a nail polish, but because it kind of, once it goes on nail, it kind of, the nail has little channels inside, so it does go inside anyway, so all over the place. So as long as you kind of get it there, you can see that the white spots are gone already. All right, so it goes under the heat. Make sure your thumb is there as well. And this coat, this product goes in the under the heat for 1 minute. So I'm gonna time this here. Okay, and now, as you can see, other than the pinky, everything kind of absorbed into the nail plate. So now you just want to dab it very, very lightly. You just want to make sure that you're not wiping everything off, so the excess is removed and the product remains in the nail plate. So we're going to cure it here for 30 seconds. Okay, put your hands in. Interestingly enough, IBX cures in pretty much any lamp, but it cures for the recommended amount of time for a gel polish. So if I use this lamp, I cure it for 30 seconds. If I use the C&D lamp, I cure it for 1 minute, because the setting on the C&D is 1 minute. Okay, pull this one out. Now you wanna, I wipe this one now with just plain alcohol or prep product. I don't know, I don't wipe it with anything that has acetone, I don't know why. It's just, in my head, it's just, I don't wanna, soak off the IBX. I don't know if it soaks off, probably not, but. So now you wanna, look at this magic, right? You wanna shake this one, and so this one is the IBX. Is it still too long for you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll shorten it later.
That's okay.
So you want to wipe this and apply the bigger bottle. And again, you don't have to be super perfect. Just make sure it doesn't touch the skin, and it doesn't have to be dripping either, obviously. And with the initial IBX treatment, you put it under the heat for 4 minutes, because we're gonna do 2 coats of this product. Initially, with the initial treatment, the first treatment, this goes under the heat for 4 minutes, and then it goes under, it gets cured and then goes under the heat for 2 minutes. And then let's say if this client decides to come back a week later, because I find it's most effective when the client repeats the service about a week to 10 days later, the initial. I really do, actually. Then you do the small bottle, you heat it up for 1 minute, and then this You don't have to do that 4-minute heat. Oh my god, I'm lost for words today. You don't have to do the 4-minute thing, you just go with the 2 minutes, so it's quicker. And I'm gonna time it. Okay, we're back 4 minutes later. Again, I'm gonna dab the excess. So the way I see it is whatever did not soak into the nail, we're gonna wipe away, because we don't want it on top of the nail, we want it in the nail. If that makes any sense. Okay, so throw away that piece of cotton. Okay, move your hand back. Okay, goes in the light for 30 seconds. And again, we're gonna repeat this process, but now we're gonna heat it up for 2 minutes. All right, put out. Now we're gonna wipe the nails again with the prep. Actually, with the I use just alcohol for this part. All right, and let's see how it compares with the other hand right now. It does look better. Isn't it amazing how the white spots are gone? Okay, so let's do the final coat of this. But what's gonna happen here is the other hand, I have a strong feeling that the white spots are gonna disappear by tomorrow as well. But we will see if the surface looks any better of the hand that had the IBX. And maybe we can even continue with the IBX on one hand and see if that will protect the nails on this hand. Okay, put it under the heat for 2 minutes, time it. And I'm going to be posting the results of this test on my Patreon channel. So like I said, I'm going to post a link to the channel in the description box. It's the link. It's patreon.com//thesalonlife, one word. And over there you are able to post a link to the video, but also you are able to add comments or add pictures to the comments, if that makes sense, so I can really give you a follow-up. So please sign up and you will see the results of this test. I love testing things, and it's nice to be able to kind of see the progress instead of kind of making completely separate videos and having to re-explain the process. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Pull this one out, and again we're going to wipe the excess. Oh, sorry, like dab the excess product, and we're going to cure it and cleanse it. This lamp for 30 seconds, please. And this whole treatment usually takes me about 15 minutes. So usually a manicure, just like a manicure without the nail polish, and the IBX treatment takes me about half an hour. I'm gonna wipe it again because I'm always very, very careful with how I wipe the nails to make sure that there is absolutely no gel left on the nails. Gel residue. Perfect. So let's see. Can I see the other hand? Here we go. So a week from now, or even actually no, tomorrow, I'm going to post pictures and see if these white spots will be gone and how the nails are going to look. And then I'm going to give you an update maybe a few days from now, and then next week I'll see you. We'll repeat this manicure on this hand, and we'll see what we're gonna do, but we're gonna kind of see how this product works in comparison to this hand. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye. And I'm back because I forgot one thing. I'm going to use the daddy oil. So this is what I have in this bottle. I just like the dropper, and you'll see how the nails look after the oil, and I'll take pictures as well. Cream. And I do retail the little bottles of daddy oil. They have them in a small purse sizes, and those ones sell really well. So I highly recommend it. It actually smells really nice as well. It has like that kind of a fresh smell. I don't think you like this oil, no? No. But the majority of people like it.
I'm just weird that way.
I know. I have one client who doesn't like it either. Well, she likes it, but she gets a headache, she says, from the lavender or something.
Yeah. But you're also talking to a person who likes the taste of the original Buckley's, so.
Ew.
I'm just kind of weird that way.
Let's compare. So overall, definitely 100%. If I do think the treatment is very, very helpful. When people are removing their gel polish, it's a really nice additional kind of step that you can offer. And I just find, because I've tried it myself, that when I've actually done once like a double treatment on myself. I know it's a little crazy, but I've done it, and the nails just feel a little bit better. They just feel a little bit more reinforced. And the reason for this, or the mechanism, the way the IBX is working, is that it's almost like a thin gel product. And it's thin enough that actually it gets almost like absorbed into the first layer of the nail, the top layers, and it gets cured into the nail, and it kind of holds everything together. So it doesn't really necessarily, I would say, repair the nail. It doesn't, but it does reinforce the top
Kinda
layers.
seals it up.
Seals it up, yeah, and it almost looks like the nail it does not absorb as much water, so it helps with that too. Okay, so in a week we'll be back with the results for you, and we'll make another video. And in the meantime, I will post the pictures tomorrow on my Patreon. So join, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.